The doors will open a few seconds after the train arrives, and then you just hop out of the train and sashay up the escalator to the lounge area and exit. We just got to the Fort Lauderdale station, and it's like an exact clone of the one in West Palm Beach, which is kind of weird. Marcus is like, oh, we just went in a circle. In October of 2023, we cruised with the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise for 2 nights before our main cruise on the Celebrity Equinox. It wasn't until we booked the cruise that we realized its home port is West Palm Beach, not Fort Lauderdale. This left us with the question, how are we going to get from the one port to the other port without spending a ton of money? The 2 ports are about 60 miles apart, which would have been an expensive Uber ride, and my friend Carl from Midlife Bucket List, who lives in southern Florida, suggested that we take the Brightline train. This turned out to be a very, very good idea. Let me take you through the whole process and show you how it works, but first, I'm Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. And I'm only about 30,000 subscribers away from getting that coveted blue check mark, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please help me out. All right, the Brightline train. This is what the Brightline website looks like, and they also have an app, but just for the purpose of this video, we're going to do it on the website. You can see here, you enter where you're coming from, where you're going, choose one way or round trip, and a date, how many people, and then you search for the tickets. It's pretty self-explanatory. The prices go up and down depending on when you're traveling, and there's 2 different ticket classes. Smart, which they call comfortable business class. That's what we took, really nice. And then premium also includes all these things. So complimentary Wi-Fi, both have power in the seats. Both have hand-stitched leather seats, but these are 19 and these are 21. And then the premium has complimentary snacks, complimentary beverages, premium lounge access, and all these other things. So kind of pick which one you want. And I think for a longer trip, this would definitely be interesting to take a look at. We're just going to take this one here. After you enter all your information, you can pick out the seats. That's just like when you're in an airplane, you choose which seats you want. And then when you go to extras here, that's where you can choose if you want to get transportation to the train station and or from the train station. I'll show you what that looks like. Under extras, you have baggage, which we'll be talking about in a second, pets, parking, and ride to or from the station. This is what we used. It was super easy. Just pick that you want to ride to the station. Then you can also choose a ride from the station, which is what we did then to get from the Fort Lauderdale train station to the cruise port. And then you have the whole thing all booked as one trip, which is just super easy and convenient. Now, when the time comes for the Uber to pick you up, it doesn't just automatically show up in the app like if you had ordered it through the app. You have to wait to receive a text message, which will tell you that the driver is on the way, and then you can click on the link to follow their location and get their information like their name, what color car, and what license plate number they have. It really was so easy and much easier than trying to get an Uber in the app after disembarking the ship. We had bad experiences trying to do exactly that when we disembarked the Equinox, and also a couple weeks later when I left the Independence of the Seas, and I'll be showing more about that in upcoming videos. By the way, one altogether challenge about getting an Uber in Florida is that the cars don't have license plates on the front. So there's always a little bit of a guessing game when a car shows up that you think is going to be your driver, because you either have to walk like around behind the car to look at the license plate, or just approach the car and talk to the driver, asking them who they're picking up. So we got the text message, we clicked on the info, we saw that the driver was showing up, we found out that he was our driver, and then we got in the car and he drove us from the West Palm Beach cruise port over to the Brightline train station. And I want to say it was about a 15-minute drive. The train station seemed brand new. I wasn't picturing it to be so bright and airy, and we were immediately greeted by a friendly employee who asked if we had already organized our bags to be checked. And this is something that I didn't understand in the booking process, but I will explain it to you now. It's different than it is here in Europe. If you have a bigger suitcase on the Brightline, you cannot just take it onto the train yourself. You have to check the bag, kind of like when you're flying. But you know what? That makes it really easy to get in and out of the train anyways. There's just so much less hassle. When you get on the train here in Europe, no matter how big your bag is, you're lugging it on the train yourself and trying to find some place to hide it away. And actually, the Brightline, that system is better. After we checked our bags, which cost us $10, we made our way up the escalators, scanned the tickets on our phone, and went around the corner to where the lounges, bar, bathrooms, and a small shop are. It made me feel a little more relaxed to know that, okay, there are employees everywhere here. You have to scan your ticket to get into the actual waiting area of the station, and there are also people working inside the waiting area of the station. I was not expecting there to be a full bar in the station, but hey, not complaining. This feels really modern, really comfortable, really safe, and the people working here were also totally friendly and helpful. If you get to the station early, it's actually a pretty nice place to hang out and maybe get some work done or just have a drink. Okay, so how do you know when your train is coming and where to go to get into the train? Brightline also makes this really easy. Not only are there monitors listing what trains are coming next, but they also make announcements before the trains arrive at the station. So
in just a few minutes, the 9:15 southbound train will arrive on Platform 1. The next stops are Boca Raton, Fort Lauderdale, and your mom's house.
And at least in all the stations that we saw on our short journey, which I think is just West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and Fort Lauderdale, we didn't stop at your mom's house. There's really just one center platform with trains going in one direction, stopping on the one side, and the trains going in the other direction, stopping on the other side. So it's not like Penn Station in New York where there's tons of platforms everywhere and you have to really pay attention to which train is stopping at which platform at which time. It's so much easier than that. You would have had to have a lot of drinks up in the bar to be so confused that you're not going to find your train. So once they announce that your train is the next one coming, then you basically just follow everybody else, but there are signs pointing towards where you have to go. There's just one escalator going down to the platform. Once you get down there, there will be people working there who will guide you to the proper side of the platform, but I don't think two trains arrive at the same time anyway, so it's really not that hard to figure it out. And if you're not able to make it to the exact entrance of the car that your seats are in, that's also not really a problem because you can just basically get into the train at any car and then walk through the train to get to where your seats are. I have ridden in many different styles and classes of trains here all over Europe, and let me tell you, these Brightline trains are really nice. These are seriously nicer than most of the trains in Europe. That might also have to do, though, with just the fact that they're so new. Most things look really great when they're brand new, and it'll be interesting to see how they deal with all the wear and tear of now running every day, but at least when we rode them, it was really, really nice. Also, check out this dual table system. You can fold down this tiny little baby table for your phone or just a drink, and if you want to get some work done or play cards or put together a puzzle, you can fold down this great big table. You can order food and drinks right there inside the train, and I thought the prices were pretty fair. I don't know about you, but that caprese sandwich sounds really good right now. Even the less expensive smart tariff seats have power supplied, and it just was really nice. Just in case you're wondering, yes, there are bathrooms in the train. I didn't take pictures of them, but they're about as nice as an airplane bathroom. And of course, that also depends on who just used it before you and what kind of condition they left it in. Maybe they stopped at Taco Bell on the way to the train, and let's not go into the details. A few minutes before each stop, announcements are made to let you know what the next stop is going to be, which side of the train you're going to exit on. And this gives you time to sort of pack up your things and get ready to leave the train. Depending on how crowded it is and how fast or slow you get around, you might even want to get up and get sort of towards the entryway by the doors of the train before the train stops, just to avoid any sort of hectic stress when the train actually stops. The doors will open a few seconds after the train arrives, and then you just hop out of the train and sashay up the escalator to the lounge area and exit. We just got to the Fort Lauderdale station, and it's like an exact clone of the one in West Palm Beach, which is kind of weird. Marcus is like, oh, we just went in a circle. Just as an FYI, you don't get your checked bags back down there next to the train. You have to go up through the lounge, over the tracks again, and then down to the main lobby and ticketing area. That's where they bring the bags. We waited there, I don't know, I wanna say 5 minutes, maybe 8 minutes, until the guy with the baggage cart came around the corner. I give him a few dollars, but I don't think you have to. And from there, we had already received the text message from Uber letting us know which car was coming to pick us up. We waited outside in the shade because it was so hot. I know people who live in Southern Florida say that they appreciate that the temperatures sort of cool down in the fall and winter in Florida, but for somebody who's not used to that temperature, even Florida in October can feel really hot. The Uber driver showed up, he was really nice. He actually agreed to stop at a grocery store so I could run in really quickly and buy some bottles of wine, which you are allowed to bring onto the Equinox. However, that turned out to be a really stupid mistake for some unexpected reasons, and I'm gonna be talking about all of that in an upcoming video as well. So let me just remind you again to subscribe, because then you'll get an update about when that video goes online in the next couple of weeks. Overall, I think you can tell I can highly recommend using the Brightline to get around in Southern Florida, from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, from West Palm Beach to Miami, and now that it even goes up to Orlando, I can definitely see a cruise mixed with Disney vacation sometime in my future. Of course, the port of Port Canaveral is much closer to Orlando, but there isn't a train running out there, so you're gonna have to book some kind of transportation, and most of these group transportations leave from the airport, so you're gonna have to get from your hotel to the airport, and then, well, actually, the Brightline station is also at the airport, so I gotta figure out the details, but I'm just saying I would much rather sit in the train for 3.5 hours where I can take a nap, have a snack, have a drink, maybe edit some videos, and maybe even reading a book full of crazy true travel stories of things that have actually happened to me, called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. It's available on Amazon now, and it makes a great Christmas present. Let me know what you think of all this. Is this what you thought the experience would be like? I think when you compare it to the typical Amtrak experience in the USA, I feel like Brightline has done a lot of things good. Leave me a thumbs up and a comment, and I hope to see you back here soon. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Bye-bye.